Is it true what they say? Is everything bigger and better in Texas? Well, in my opinion, yes. Yes, it is. And today I wanted to talk about some of the reasons as to the truth behind why some people, majority of people, are moving to Texas than any other state right now, as to why some of my clients have decided to move to Texas, and just some personal beliefs as to what is going on in this great state of Texas to make people want to start moving here. So that way, if you are on the fence about moving to Texas, maybe some of these things can help you sway your decision which one way or another. And we're gonna get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Lubbock, Texas, well then be sure to tap that bell and hit that subscribe button so that you can be the first to know about all things living in Lubbock, Texas. I'm Sam Riddle. I get calls, texts, emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move to Lubbock, Texas, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, schedule a Zoom call with the link in my bio, or send me a message on any social media platform, and I'd love to meet you and your family and help you make a smooth transition into the Lubbock area. So, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about just some of the reasons as to why people are moving to the great state of Texas. The first reason why I think a majority of people are moving to Texas, at least one that I hear a lot, is our political views here in Texas. Some people may feel like they are oppressed if they speak, or that they can't speak their mind, and if they have more of a conservative view in their state. And so they just feel like maybe they'll get their house picketed, or they just will be attacked if they have a different political opinion than maybe their neighbor or maybe the rest of the state. And so we're seeing a lot of people migrate to the Texas area that do tend to have or lean more conservatively. However, with that being said, we still do not, I feel like we have a very welcoming community where if you have a different neighboring, or if you have a different opinion than your neighbor, that's all fine. You know, we're not going to attack you for having a different belief or opinion. Now, with that being said, is a lot of the major cities here in the Texas area, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Fort Worth, Houston, you know, our major cities, those are going to maybe lean a little bit more on the liberal side. And then if you're on anywhere else in the state, it's going to really tend to lean a little bit more conservatively. So with that being said, I think that is one major reason why people are choosing to leave their state and make the move to Lubbock. Well, Lubbock specifically, but also really anywhere in Texas. And going into my second point is that families really are looking for a great education system for their kiddos here in Texas, or really just in general. And so Texas has phenomenal schools, not only private schools, but also public schools, especially if you're in a major city. And same within Lubbock, we are growing and expanding our public schools like crazy. And I know that Dallas is doing the same, and I know that Austin is doing the same. And so we really do take into consideration our kiddos and really want to have them have the best education possible for them. And not only that, is you don't have to spend all your dollars in a private school. These kids in public schools are not being taught only one agenda. You know, I think that was also a major concern for some parents, is they would like their kid to not be taught just one way of thinking or just one subject on a particular matter. So here in Texas, the schools here are very open and very welcoming as well too. And not to mention that the U.S. World News the U.S. World News ranked 6 out of the top 100 college/universities here are here in the state of Texas. That's pretty awesome. So to have 6 out of the 100 college or universities in the nation here just in Texas, that's a pretty big deal. So not only do we have great public schools for K through 12, but also our university and our college system is definitely one to think about. If you are thinking about going to a university here in the state of Texas, I always recommend Texas Tech, of course, so you could be in the great city of Lubbock, but not to mention, UT and TCU, Baylor, all phenomenal Big 12 schools. I also wanted to point out how great of an opportunity the job opportunities are here in this state of Texas. There are a lot of bigger companies that are moving their headquarters into Texas. And so we have companies like Amazon make their way into the Austin area. We have Dell, which is also right outside of Austin. Tesla, with Elon Musk, moved his headquarters into the Austin area. We're also seeing the oil and gas industry with Exxon. They're moving their headquarters, or they have their headquarters outside of the Dallas area. So we're seeing a ton of bigger corporations make their way to Texas. And so the job opportunities and the job growth that is possible for residents that are moving here is there. I think that the job opportunities are there, especially in the tech world, especially in the oil and gas, engineering, in that world. There are a ton of job opportunities there. Also too, since post-COVID, we're seeing a lot of remote jobs as well. And so I think a lot of people are wanting to move their employees to the Texas area if they're also moving their headquarters here. So we're seeing a ton of employees move. And then we're also just seeing businesses expanding here in Texas. We're seeing new storefronts opening up, new job growth and new job opportunities open up. And so that is huge if you are looking to make your move to Texas. And also too, just our business laws and regulations are completely different than any other state. And I'll get into that in a second. But definitely the job opportunities is one of the major reasons why we see a lot of people be moving here. Not to mention, Texas is ranked as the best state to start a business by some of the top CEOs in the nation. So if you are thinking about starting a business or and want to look to move, Texas might be your next state to look into. And so with that being said, is corporations, we have a ton of different laws and regulations regarding the corporations here in Texas, or how they are taxed, or how your business is taxed. So that has a lot to do with it as well too. Texas wants you to succeed, and so there's actually no corporate or personal tax here in the state of Texas. When I say tax, I mean like income tax. So there's no corporate or personal income tax here in the state of Texas. Really, everything here in Texas is a little bit lower of a cost of living than anywhere else in the U.S. Right now in Texas, you can find homes sometimes that are 200% cheaper than the national average. And I've talked about this before, but here in Lubbock, we're even lower than that. We're even lower than the state's average. And so you can find affordable places to live, especially if you're not wanting to be in a major city. You can find these affordable places to live, not have to spend all of your money going towards your house or anything like that. And so with that being said, I think we also have a lower gas, we have lower groceries, we have lower electricity bills. Property taxes, on the other hand, I know that what you've been thinking is, but we have property tax. Yes, we have property tax, but like I mentioned, we have no state income tax either. So we do have personal tax, we do have property taxes. However, if you are not in a major city and you are on the suburbs, you are going to have a little bit lower taxes. So there are ways around it. Also too, even if you do the math and you're looking at all the taxes that you're having to pay in your state already, and then you come over to Texas, and even if we do the math and say, hey, we don't have those, but we still have our property taxes, it still ends up being cheaper to live in Texas than it does in a lot of other states. And so, and not to mention like all of the other items that are a little bit less expensive, like your groceries and your gas. Texas does tend to have a little bit lower gas prices, like I've mentioned in a previous video, but everything's a little bit cheaper, so you can your dollar goes a little bit longer. And according to the U.S. Census, there has been over 500,000 people move to the state of Texas since 2021, making it the second largest state that compared to California, where people are moving into. So that's huge. Texas is growing, which is crazy. And I think that we are seeing a lot of people from the California area move to the Texas area. And so if you are one of those people, well, maybe we can help you find be a transplant here in the Lubbock area. We'd love to help you wherever you're moving from, Arizona, New York, wherever. We'd love to help you find your house here as well. Also, according to the census, there's over 30 million people that live in the Texas area or Texas. So that's crazy. It's a big state. Lots of opportunities, lots of job growth. Not to mention, another reason why I think people are moving here is solely due to the fact that we are a very friendly state. I think that it's a common misconception that we are just a bunch of Westerners. Where in fact, in the state of Texas, we're very friendly people. We encourage and we just wave to our neighbors. We say thank you when we pass or when we try to get over on the highway, so we are very friendly, we're very open. And it also goes to say that we are also very diverse here in the state of Texas. In fact, Texas is the second most diverse state in the US, which is pretty crazy to think about. I don't think a lot of people realize that. We have a ton of different walks of life, different ethnicities, all in the state of Texas, no matter where you're from. Even in the smaller towns and into the bigger cities, you're gonna find your niche. So I think that's a common misconception people have is, oh, I'm not gonna be able to fit in, I'm not gonna have any friends, nobody's gonna be welcoming. When, like I said, we're very friendly people. We're very welcoming, and I don't think that has any truth to it at all. Also, too, I think a lot of people are moving here just really due to the weather. They're trying to get away from the hottest of hots or the coldest of colds. And really, Texas as a state itself has a pretty steady temperature year round, from season to season. We don't see fairly colds unless sometimes if you're in the panhandle like Lubbock, but also too, we do see some heat. I think everybody saw some heat here in 2023 in the summer, but we're not seeing 112s, 115s, we might get in the 108s, but like I said, we're not seeing tons of rainstorms. It's mostly cloudy. It's mostly sunny. We don't have that many cloudy days, and so I just think that the weather itself, a lot of people really do enjoy, and does play a little bit of a factor when people are deciding to move to Texas. Did want to mention Lubbock is a little bit different. Like I mentioned before, we do have snow versus majority of the rest of the state. If you're on the coastal areas, you're gonna have some humidity. You're going to have very pleasant weather compared to where you're coming from. And so really in sum, there are tons of different reasons why people move to Texas every single day. But for the most part, these are what I'm really seeing is the political views are a little bit different. We have great job opportunities. We are a diverse state. We also have great education for our kiddos. And also too, our economies we have a lower cost of living than most states in the US. So that is just a little bit of information that I wanted to share with y'all because I get a lot of questions of people asking why Texas, why Lubbock, and so I just wanted to share just a little bit, not go into too much detail about everything, but just kind of shed some light onto the reasons that we're seeing people move to the state of Texas. And so if you have any questions or you're teetering on Texas or a different state or Lubbock in a different city, I'd be more than happy to talk with you about the different cities here in the local area and just kind of explain those differences because I know everywhere in Texas is a little bit different, like in most states, of course. But if you like this video, be sure to like and comment, hit that subscribe button so that you can be the first to know about all things happening in Lubbock, Texas. And until next time, we'll see you around.